Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to show you something called a RedKey USB. It is a computer data wipe tool, as it says, and this is all the options that you see on here. Now what's nice about this particular piece of software is it's updatable, which means you can constantly update it and do all that. And you only pay a one-time license. This version that you're looking at right now is the professional version. So before I go into specifics here, a company had reached out to me and they wanted me to review this software, and it was RedKey USB themselves. So they sent me the professional edition of this software. So before I open it up, here's what you need to know. You need to go to this website. Here's why. You download an update tool that will automatically update the software to the RedKey USB. So I'm going to turn the camera down here, and I am going to take the RedKey USB out, and out of the packaging it looks somewhat like this. This is a thumb drive that's shaped like a RedKey, and it's also USB. That's why it's called that. Kind of plays off the name, which I like. So as you can see, I'm plugging it into my computer here, and since it came up, as you can see, there's nothing there, but don't worry. So what you want to do now is you want to go to this website. So I am going to go to the website, and what we're going to download is this right here, basically stuff that tells you what the software is. So I'm going to exit out of these. That was my own video there. And yes, I haven't used this since I did the TPM chip video, but that's not the basis of this video, so it's not www. Just so you know. If I typed it in right, we're going to go directly to it. And I did get that page not found for some weird reason, but it still worked. Alright, so you want to go to Activate and Update. Click that, and you want to go to Download. It says RK Updater, which stands for RedKey. Click Save. There we go. So it's going to be should be on my desktop, but it's not, so I'm going to go into here, RK Updater. And this is interesting how the software works. So you click yes, you select your language. And it's going to read the device. It's detecting it. So if I click that, it should not be taking this long to figure it out, but so it's telling me I have all that. It says no network found. Okay, so I got to figure that one out. So I'm going to close the RedKey updater. And I am going to put it in my USB strip here. There we go. There we go. So now I'm going to run the updater again. Yes, English. It should detect it. There we go. For some reason my front USB port on this computer does not like this. I don't know why, but it does work. So select RedKey USB, select device, and it's checking. There we go. So what this is right here, this is the device RedKey USB. It is a 2 gig thumb drive, which does not surprise me because it's not used for storage, it's used for stuff that you need. Purchase date is unconfirmed. Warranty expires unconfirmed. Software installed none. So what I have to do now is I'm going to have to activate the key. So you click activate key, and I am not going to show the key for obvious reasons. So I selected the activation, and now what's happening is the version of the software is being updated. So now what I'm going to do, basically what you're doing with the software is the way you would do it when you buy a new computer. You update the software before you use it. Update software. And of course you get the end user agreement, which means if you use this software improperly, you get in trouble. So I'm going to accept it. So basically I got to initialize it. The reason being, for this is so basically when you buy the software, anybody who handles it won't be able to use it unless they have the software, which means it's a safety feature of the software, which I do like. So I'm going to click proceed. And it wants to make sure you understand, which is fine. So I'm going to click I understand. And I have a download mirror. UK, London, Australia, Sydney. Now, so you know, this particular software is UK based. The company is UK based. So they have an office out here, obviously, because they have a mirror. So I am going to select, and it did it by itself because I waited too long. And it's progress file 9 of 619. Now the reason for that is obviously there is a lot of files that need to be downloaded, and it's going quite quickly right now, so when it slows down, that's a bigger file. And if you notice, it automatically selected the US mirror download because I am in the US. So far, I really like this software. It's really kind of interesting that you can update it as much as you want and you only pay for one license. I have never heard of a software, especially a data erase software, that you can do that. To me, that's very interesting because most software I buy, you have to continually buy new license for it. And if you don't, the software becomes useless. And once the software is installed, it'll give me the version number of that. So what's going to happen is this is most likely the newest version of the software. So what's going to happen is when the software is installed, the none, N-O-N-E, will turn into 3.72p. And I will be wiping this computer clean with the RedKey. Alright, we're almost done here. Alright, so unfortunately the date is wrong on the purchase date and the warranty date, but I'm not too concerned about that. It's with my computer, so I know that's kind of off. So it's not the software, it's my computer. Alright, and as usual, you're going to be formatting this. This might take a little bit. And yes, it's the same type of formatting that you do when you right click and click format. Same type of thing, but I'm doing it through the updater itself. And that's the quickest I've seen a progress bar move from when you're formatting something. Wow. That's going really quick. So what I'll do is when this is done, I'll check and make sure the files are on this. Then what I'll do is I'll take it out. Actually, I should just leave it in there. But I'll leave it in there, and what I'll do is I'll set up USB to boot. And when that happens, it'll read the software that's on the RedKey. And then what'll happen is I'll be running off the RedKey, and then I could launch the software that I need to. And this thing needed a lot of updating. But that's not a bad thing, because you don't want to be using outdated software, because I did that once. And let's just say the results were not good. It was on my own test machine, and that's not a good thing to do either, because when that happens, that's how you get yourself into trouble. There's nothing wrong with experimenting with old software, but in a professional environment, you want to use the most up-to-date software you can. I know licensing is expensive and stuff like that, but it's just better that way. Alright, so it says your RedKey device is now installed with the most updated version. Click the home icon to update another device. Click the settings icon to customize settings, which is cool, but I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm just showing how the software works. So this confirms that I am right about what happened with the software. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to click yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this PC. Click RedKey. And these are the files that you need to boot the software. You saw it before. It was basically a blank thumb drive. So now, with that, I can run the software. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to restart the computer, and we are going to wipe everything out because that's what I want to do with the software. I want to see how it works. And you have certain things on there. Don't worry about it. I got it. It's all good. So we're going to go into the BIOS. And I know I showed this before, but for the sake of the video, I want to show it as I'm doing it here. We go to BIOS, enter. We're going to go to boot sequence. And the USB RedKey showed up in the BIOS. That is a good thing, which means the BIOS, the board itself, recognizes what's hooked up to it. So then what I'm going to do, you don't have to do this. Oh, I don't need to. Okay. But I don't want to have it boot twice, so disabled. It won't matter because the RedKey is the first boot device, but I just like to have it so that way it's not looking for it twice. I've never had that problem, just want to prevent it. So we're going to do F10, okay. Now we should boot off the RedKey. Hopefully. There we go. So as I said, or if I haven't said yet, this is a Linux operating system. It's basically what it is. The thumb drive acts as a live CD, in this case, or DVD nowadays. So it said it was detected. That's why you saw the Linux, the version of Linux up here. I didn't catch what version it was. So I'm literally using a Linux operating system to delete what's on my hard drive. So we're going to just do default settings for right now. And there we go. This proves that it's Linux. So here's what I have. I have graphical, which is what I'm going to use for this video, and then I have text-based, and then I have an override. Text-based is basically like a command prompt. Your computer may not handle visuals very well, so you would use number 2. I know this computer will do this just fine. But for the sake of the video and reviewing the software, we're going to do number 1. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to... It's asking me to select a resolution. I'm just going to continue with that. So not only is this data clean software, it's a Linux OS. I'm going to do US English. That's where I'm at. Ooh, it's even got its own login sound too. I like this. This is cool.
Frozen disks have been detected. This system must suspend temporarily.
I have a SSD, so I am going to let it do this. And for some reason it thinks it's frozen. So basically what it is it thinks there's something wrong with the drive, which there is not, even though I have wiped it a few times, but that's about it. Alright. So let's wake it up. Now I should have clicked cancel suspend and I did not. But this software is capable of wiping SSDs. But my computer is still running, so that's a good thing. So now I am going to reboot the machine. There we go. Let's just make sure that nothing got changed. Okay, F10, okay, here we go again. So that was my fault. I should have canceled the suspend. But I really do like this software. I like the fact that it's its own operating system. It's Sys Linux is what they call it. SYS, as in system. Now there is a little bit of a delay when I push enter, but that's okay. There we go. That takes a little longer than what you want, but it does work. But you have to remember you're running from a thumb drive. So far, I really like the software. I like the fact that it's a Linux operating system doing the work. I enjoy that a lot. And since I've been playing with Linux, this is a good thing. So we're going to do 1. Then you just have to remember that you are running from a thumb drive, and I keep forgetting that myself. Because it won't take a lot of time to wipe the data. The setup takes the longest to do it. Alright, so I'm just going to do what I did the last time. Now it's loading. And it has its own login sound. But I'm on a microphone, so you probably can't hear that. So
Welcome to RedKey Professional.
So, whoever the programmer is for the software,
Frozen disks have been detected. This system must suspend temporarily.
I give you thumbs up. Alright, some disks are frozen. Either suspend, was skipped, or not effective, not supported. Which settings would you like to apply to frozen disks? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the default setting for right now, just to show how the software works. I will do another video on this, and we'll get into different settings and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do default settings. Okay, so here's what you have. Here's the nice thing. It's got almost like CPU-Z. It tells me the model of the board, the company who makes it, and I can get OEM parts for it. Alright, so before we get started, here's what we have. We have Start, we have System Info, which it gives you the computer, the model, the vendor, to be filled by OEM. Brand, model, vendor, serial number, CPU, model, vendor, and yes, I know I have an AMD. RAM, size, display, model, vendor, audio, model, and vendor. So this gives you information about your computer. So it's not total disk wiping software, as you would say, but in this case, the way they have it set up, it is. But it gives you more than just wiping the hard drives or SSDs. So we can rescan disk, clear all settings, purge RedKey data, which I do not recommend you do. Suspend, unfreeze. We could do view disk raw data, disk 1. And this is all the code that's on the drive. And this would be considered hexadecimal, by the way. Wait a minute. This is your address, and this is the rest of the stuff. I cannot remember if it is hexadecimal or not. On networking, this would be considered hexadecimal. IPv version 6, but that's not what we're about right now. So you have main, you have suspend, and it gives you a picture of an SSD because that is what I am running. So what's nice about the software here is even if you don't use a computer a whole lot and you want to try wiping data, this software is pretty easy to use. So left click start.
Frozen disks have been detected. This system must suspend temporarily.
I am not going to do that. Oh, it's going to make me do that. Okay.
Frozen disks have been detected. This system must suspend temporarily.
Computer will go to sleep. After 1 minute, it will wake up. After 3 minutes, the system does not wake up. Press the power button once to wake it up manually. If the computer wakes, you must confirm you can still see the screen. Okay, so it's going to make me suspend it. Alright, so I turned off the computer, I let it go to sleep, and it would not come back up. It's the computer, it is not the software. So what I did here is I changed, as you can hear, there's a hard drive in there, and I changed that out. So now we are going to go through the process again, but with that loud hard drive you hear. So F10, there. So once we get this going, it's not a big hard drive I have hooked up, so. So we're back in the RedKey. So once we get back in, I'll be able to use the loud hard drive, a spinner as they say, to do what I need to do. Alright, we are here again. Now, that lockout, the computer itself is not allowing the hard drive to be unfrozen for some reason. I am not going to do that, so we're going to skip it. And what's going to happen is when it detects the second disk, I won't have to do that. Okay, so what happened before is when I did the default settings, it required to suspend to unfreeze. So what I am going to do for the sake of this video is I'm going to use binary zero fill only. This is my own stuff, so I don't need to worry about it. If I was working on a customer's computer, then I would use the default settings. So, for the sake of this video, let's do this. So it says the disk is frozen. Let me see why. Default process, okay. So we have choose standard algorithm, custom wipe algorithm, reset clear settings. We have reset clear settings for this disk only, view disk detailed information, which gives you all the information about the hard drive. In this case, the SSD. Disk management expert features, select partitions, partial disk wipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return and I'm going to click start. And now it is wiping the disk. Now, unfortunately, I wanted to do it the other way, but it required me to unfreeze. For some reason, the computer, the software is tricking the computer and thinking it is frozen. Oh, this is cool. This is really cool. It even has its own media player. This is so cool. Wow. I thought this is so cool. It has its own audio. Whoever designed this, you are a genius. You are a grade A genius. Wow! It even has its own screensaver. Whoa, that is cool. That is totally amazing. I have never ever seen software like this. But since it's a Linux OS, you could do this stuff. This is amazing. All right, so I'm going to click back so we can see the progress of the drive. Now, if you notice on the bigger files, it is adding time, but on the smaller files, it's not. I am amazed that this has a screensaver on it. That is the coolest thing I have ever seen on software like that. I have never, ever seen that. you could tell what it's wiping, because so the zero fill is at 15.8% right now, which is very, very good. I have never seen a piece of software as good as this. Now, even though I am doing it on the less secure one, I'm doing this to test the software out. Unfortunately, my computer it's the computer itself, and I know it is. It's acting a little weird, but this is an old, I kind of have a wonky BIOS, so it's not the software doing that. And you have multiple screensavers. This is really, really cool. "10 minutes and you're already at 43.567. That's actually not bad for the age of this computer. So that's really, really cool that there's a screensaver involved with this. Let's see how low this would go. Yeah, the screensaver. And the time is going down, which is good. So all the big files are at the beginning of the drive, as it shows. I don't have much on here, so I am amazed at how well that this is actually working. It's not even the most secure one either. So this is absolutely really good software. Oh, went back to the screensaver. So we're at 15 minutes so far. There we go. This is so amazing. I'm thoroughly impressed with this software. Oh, there it goes. It's those big files that get you. So at 123 gigs, we should be at least halfway. So this is what it looks like when it's wiping the drive. This is really cool. I really do like this software. Just to give you an understanding on how this works. Totally amazing. As you see up there, this software will permanently destroy your data, and yes, that's what it is doing. Here comes screensaver again. As soon as it hits 50%, we should be go good to go. This is just amazing how well this software really does work. Hoping to see if it goes down to like 9 minutes, but that's not going to happen on this computer. But it is working quite nicely, and I do like the way that the software itself functions. Pretty straightforward. Alright. I'm just trying to keep showing the software here. There we go. That's what I want to see. I want to see the time keep going down. We're almost at 123 here. Alright, and 123 here. Went back to the screensaver. Alright, so I will come back at the end and we'll see how the software finishes up. Alright, we are almost done here. So, I'm curious to see what's going to happen after this is done. What it's going to tell me, how it's going to work. And there's that pesky screensaver again, but I like it. And in the settings you have, I can turn the screensaver off, I can change the resolution, I have sound, I could turn all that off. It's a setting that's really cool, that I could do that with this. So, and yes, you read that correctly, it's been an hour. It would be faster, but due to the age of the computer, it's going to be a little slow. So I have to get to 223.6 gigabits, and we are almost there. So I'm curious what it's going to tell me when it's done. That's what I'm curious about. And we are almost there too. And we are almost there. Let me adjust the camera angle a little bit. There we go. I have to adjust that. There we go. Alright. Once we hit 6, we'll be done. It's still in progress. Hopefully it'll tell me here shortly. Alright, we are done. Alright, so let's view report. Alright, so the report tool use RedKey USB. It's actually still the 8th where I'm at, but I understand why it says the 9th. Computer and board, audio, stuff like that. So we are now, just like before, we are now going to exit. I am going to turn off the computer, and as you heard the log down sound, the shutdown sound, this is a Linux distribution. I know I keep saying that, but that's what it is. So now, since the computer is off, I'm going to unplug the RedKey. That's the RedKey. I'm going to put it right here for the meantime. I am going to boot back up the computer, and we are going to see what happened. So we're going to go back into the BIOS. There we go. Once it's in there, I'm going to try to boot off that solid state drive. Oh, it's booting off the I forgot that I had the other hard drive hooked up. Okay. That's why you saw that. There we go. There we go. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is press Control-Delete. There we go. Computer did not want to go into the BIOS for some reason. Alright, there we go. We're going to do boot sequence. We're going to go to SATA. Okay, we're going to disable everything else. Yeah, that's it. Okay. 10. Okay. Now I should get, there's no data on the hard drive. Excuse me, the SSD. there we go. There is no data on that SSD anymore. It is all gone. And I didn't even touch the drive physically. So anyway, with that said, that is it for this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications.